I can't speak on the perspective of being trans. I wanted to talk about the video I saw that Jory posted, being upset that her community is mad at her for a $140 necklace, but also not getting brand deals because of her outspoken activism. Well, I say activism about how people should change towards her community of trans people and transphobia and all of that. And how she's sad that companies won't work with her. Companies won't work with anyone that's outspoken activism. My personal experience, I could speak for myself, having experienced that, but not from the trans perspective, which we're not getting into that. But it's sad how people treated her over a $140 necklace. We are so focused on what rich people spend their money on that we're not focused on trying to make a change in our own governments and our own communities. Our government does not care that the cost of housing, gas prices, and food prices are going up. And it's going to make me raise an eyebrow to companies that don't want to work with someone because they're outspoken activism. And I'm literally like, we should just start boycotting companies. Make companies change, because companies are not going to change. They're not going to change the way they are. They're not going to change the way they act, for the simple fact of how they treat people of color, especially trans people of color. It is sad that someone has to tell y'all that these companies are doing people dirty, and you still won't listen. The amount of transphobia, the amount of transphobic people who literally spew their hatred is crazy. And I've been seeing transphobia being spewed towards Dylan for her song that she released, Girlhood. I was trying to think of this. And literally dissecting the whole song, saying that you delegated being a woman to medications, retail therapy, blah, 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 blah. Dylan is only speaking from their experience of being a trans woman. I don't understand this transphobic hate towards trans people. I have never seen it so much than I have on social media, from Instagram to TikTok to Facebook to everywhere. And I don't understand what this hatred is. This is why transphobia and racism will always exist. And these companies think it's okay to treat people unfairly. I've seen white people do so much worse than what POC or POC trans people have done, and they still get brand deals. They still get a lot of things. I don't see people telling white T trans people, or not, well, not trans, but white T people in general, sorry, oh, you spent your money on that? I will never understand the pocket watching and complain about how black people literally spend their money on things. Like, I will never understand, like, this, but you don't tell white people that spend their money on things that are not even, like, that are not even things that, you know, it's useless things. They'll buy $40,000 worth of diamonds and you wouldn't even bat an eye or say anything to that. This pocket watching is crazy. And it's not only that, it's having fair equality. People of color should be equal, and brand deals should work with people of color equally instead of treating us different, treating people of color different. We get lesser opportunities, lesser pay. I'm going to raise an eyebrow, and I'm going to start boycotting companies that don't want to work because of activism work. The only way to change society and change some things in society is to come together, to go out, to do the work, to be active. Because no more like saying, like, you know, I can make a video talking about all the transphobia in the world, but what good is that going to do if there's no action being taken? If people aren't hitting the streets, if people aren't literally hitting these companies in their pockets where it hurts and making them open their eyes and say, hey, because for me personally, I don't really see a lot of trans friendly brand companies. Like, to me, it sucks. Because me being a straight person, I feel like all people should be represented no matter what. All people, but this transphobia that I've been seeing everywhere is crazy. It needs to stop. There's no reason for it. There's no place for hate. So why should we allow it? And when I say we, I mean us straight people need to make these companies change. We need to speak up for the people that need us to speak up, because if only trans people spoke up, nothing is going to get done, right? And I am going to say it because people literally went at Budweiser for their commercial with Dylan, you know, her commercial. And there were people speaking about it like, I'm never going to drink Budweiser again, from regular people to Kid Rock. There was like celebrities pouring Budweiser. I'm going to say it, Kid Rock's music is trash. I put your picture away. Like, no one cares. You're all washed up. Your music career is done for. And you're trying to cling on to whatever little career you have, Rock, like Kid Rock. I'm sorry. But like, we need to do better. We need to do better as a community.
Do you have your passport?
Us as, sorry, I was going to continue, but I'm sending stuff because I'm trying to delete for space. Us as the non-LGBTQ, non-trans community need to speak up and say something. Because if trans people only speak up, change isn't going to happen. And I don't like Kid Rock. I hate those yeehaw, not my country type people. These are the same people that are like, I don't like that Beyonce got into country. Country music is only for white people. No, black people invented country music, and we should shove y'all out of our music and gatekeep it. This is why I'm all for gatekeeping music. Because y'all try to take hip hop, y'all try to take country, y'all try to take jazz, y'all try to take rock and roll, and act as if we aren't the originators. We aren't the ones who created that music. For you to have your John Denver and your George Strait. I will never understand the tone policing for one person but not another. This girl said, my boyfriend said you're ugly or something to a plus size girl. And literally this dude made a video like showing that it literally said she was 19 and single. And it also showed what she looked like in a photo, and everyone said, oh my god, he body shamed her. He didn't say not one word. He was just showing that the thing said 19 and single, because she said my boyfriend said you're ugly, which proves she didn't have a boyfriend, and then showed a photo of what she looked like when she was standing, and people were like, oh my god, you're body shaming her. Body shaming someone who, how? Like, he literally didn't say not a single word, but no one literally had anything to say to that girl who was being rude to another girl. Like, this tone policing is crazy. And I get, he's a man. You know, I know how people feel. Like, telling, like, I get it, like, men shouldn't say anything to women. But then again, you know, he didn't even say anything at all. He was mad silent. Like, this is the thing that I hate for selective outrage or selective tone policing, you know. One person can do something, but when someone has a reaction, people tone police the reaction more than they do the other person. It's crazy. It's a little weird. You have to be careful what you say online, especially when it comes to certain things, because it'll make you look unprofessional. People won't care how someone reacts or if someone was rude, but they're going to remember, like, oh yeah, you said this about this certain person. We don't want to work with you. Like, when it comes to, like, the business, when you're talking about something between you and someone and it pertains to a contract or something like that, be careful. Because you're going to cause yourself to look unprofessional to other people that won't work with you. And I'm not saying be careful online with what you say, because trust me, I've said a lot of stuff online that wasn't so good. You know, sorry. I said a lot of stuff online that wasn't good. It wasn't the greatest.
Get that one of those.
It wasn't,
soda.
Yeah, but because let's be honest, I'm not going to tell people what to say.
I bet I can make you smile. Just give me 5 seconds. Watch this. Smile if you would date me.
Shine.